Hey, and welcome back to our channel, Cooking with E and V. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and also put down them comments. Let us know how we're doing. Tell us what you'd like to see us cook. Today is a special day. Today is a special treat. I'm cooking collard greens. I haven't cooked collard greens in a long time, but I've been known for my collard greens to be very tasteful and very delicious. And this is what's going to be going in them. We got some smoked ham hocks, which I'm actually going to smoke on the A-smoke to get a little extra smoke in them. This is our bacon that I'm going to be frying down. We have some onions. Got a hot pepper right here that my sister Karen gets these from New York from me. I can't find these down here in South Mississippi. Season them with collard green seasoning, a little distilled white vinegar, the bay leaves. As I boiled my ham hocks, the bay leaves will go in there. So will some onion powder, garlic powder, of course black pepper. And I'm also using real chopped garlic, GOYA, hamon flavoring, and SAZON with ACHIOTE in it. Gives it a nice little red tint. And of course a little pinch of sugar. Now I've tasted greens that are real sugary and real sweet. I don't do my greens like that. I use sugar to balance out the acidity in the greens from the vinegar. And this paring knife, I'll be using that to score the ham hocks, to score the fat. And of course this is my chef knife right here to chop the greens up. And here is the star of the show. The collard greens are soaking in cold water. I'll let these soak for about half hour, and then I'll scrub them down with my hands. And once I do that, I'll transfer the greens into this side of the sink, and then drain this sink out with the water, drain the water out, refill it with fresh water, and put the collard greens back from this sink back into here and let them soak again for about 15-20 minutes. Alright, I can't wait. I can taste these greens right now. My mouth is watering. I hope yours is also. Okay folks, I just want to briefly take you in and show you how I cook my greens. What I do, they've been here for about a half hour. I just rub them. Kind of get the water all around the greens. And then I'll just take one, I'll look at it, I'll inspect it. Rub it with my hands. Make sure there's no dirt or no bugs in it. As you can see, this looks like a pretty clean green. Put it on the other side of the sink and repeat. Now I remember when I was a kid watching my mother cook greens, and greens back then for some reason they had a lot of grit and dirt in them. And you also saw a lot of bugs. These greens nowadays, they're washed, they're taken care of better from the packing plant. And even from the farm, I think they're even, you know, washed, taken care of much better. But not to say that just because these greens look better, since from 1977 to now, you know, you still have to take care of your greens and wash them real good. My mother would spend hours washing and cutting greens up. Like this little piece right here. As you can see right there, it's kind of discolored. That's gonna come out. I'm gonna take a little paring knife. And be careful when you're doing this, folks. Don't cut yourself. And I'm gonna get rid of that. My mom, she was like Inspector Green. He'll inspect them greens like nobody else can inspect them. But they was always good, and I always loved them. And that's where I get my passion for food from. My mom and my dad. They did a lot of cooking in the house, and they also did cooking for friends and around the holiday times. So cooking is a big part of my growing up, my heritage. Like I said, I just wanted to bring you in, show you how I cook my greens. Now, once I do this and get all of them on the other side, I'm gonna dump this water, clean the sink out, and fill it back up with clean water and put these greens in that water again. It won't be too much longer, guys. All right, take care. Hey, how's everybody? I got to thinking, I'm gonna have some collard greens. I'm probably gonna have the leftover ribs that I did last night that cooked. I'm gonna do some candied sweet potatoes. So I'm gonna do some candied yams, like my father did for Thanksgiving and Christmas and different other holidays. And then those candied yams are gonna have brown sugar, pure vanilla, salted sweet cream butter, nutmeg, cinnamon, and I'm gonna throw a little bit of bourbon in there. Now, my dad didn't use bourbon growing up, obviously for reasons for us as being kids, but now that we're grown, I'm gonna throw a little bourbon in there. It's gonna taste delicious. So get ready, guys. I'll take you through the process and see you later. Hey, I just wanted to bring you back in and show you how these smoked ham hocks are doing. I'm basically smoking them again. A lot of times when you go to the store and you get smoked ham hocks, they're not as smoky as you like them. You know, I don't know how long they keep them in the smoker, but cooking with E&V, we're gonna smoke them twice. We're gonna get a lot of smoke in them. So I'm gonna let these stay on the A-smoke for about another 30 minutes or so at 400 degrees. And then I'll take them off and we'll start the process. Right now I'm gonna take you to rendering out the fat with the bacon for the collard greens. Okay, my pot is on like a medium low. The setting is on 4. I'm gonna start putting this delicious looking bacon in the pot. We're gonna cook this slow so we can render out all that good fat and that flavor. And it smells delicious already. Nothing like smoked bacon while it's cooking. Alright. While we're waiting for the ham hocks to cook in the A-smoke and the bacon to get rendered in the pot, we're going to start on these delicious candy yams. Well, they're going to be candy yams. So first thing you want to do, I got my stove on about medium low. I'm going to add 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to let that get nice and melted. Let me grab a spoon. Be right back, folks. Okay, these are going to be delicious. I used to look forward to Thanksgivings and Christmas when my dad would make candy yams. They would be so delicious. I miss his cooking. They're up in New York right now and battling the snow and the cold weather. We're not battling any snow, but we definitely got some cold weather. Okay. And to that, even though that butter is salted, we're going to add just a little bit of sea salt. Not too much, that's good enough. Gonna add 1 cup of water. And I'll put all of these ingredients in the description below the video so that y'all can make my dad's famous candy yams also. And along that, we're gonna add the vanilla, and you add it to your taste. That should be good enough. We're also going to put in some cinnamon. Say about a tablespoon of cinnamon. We're also going to add some nutmeg. The nutmeg is a very strong flavoring, so use it sparingly. Very strong seasoning. I couldn't say it. I tried to get it out. And along with that, you add probably about a half a cup of brown sugar. And stir that all around. It smells delicious. And now the good stuff. I'm gonna add 1 ounce of Kentucky bourbon. Give it a nice stir. Oh yeah, that brought the level up even more, flavor level. Now you may say that's not enough water, but this is going to cook real slow. And once these potatoes get soft, it's going to absorb all that flavor. So what you do, you just start layering them in. Take your time, one at a time. And as usual, my hands are very clean. They stay washed while I'm in this kitchen. Happy Valentine's Day to all my watchers out there. I hope you're having a great Valentine's Day. Okay. I think we're going to add a little bit, touch more water. So about 1.5 cups of water. Alright, there it is. Very simple, nothing hard about this. We're going to cover her up, let her cook slowly, and we'll see you later. Okay, I got the onions cut up. I like them about this size because they're going to be in them greens for a while, so I don't want them too small so they start to disintegrate. I just wanted to show you how I cut my onions. What I do, I take my knife, I go across like this, Then I make little slits down the onion. And since I'm going to keep them big, I'm making the slits a little bit wider. Also the same thing like that, making them real wide. Be careful, folks, these knives are sharp. And when I get to the end, just cut that in half like that. And that's it. Place my bowl on the chopping board so I won't lose anything on the counter. It seems like a lot of onions, but what I mostly do is I'll put 3/4 of these onions in the greens while it's cooking, and I'll leave 1/4 of it out because personally I like raw onions while I eat my greens. And this pepper right here, we're just gonna chop this up real fine. It's just basically for flavor. You probably won't even see it, it'll disintegrate. I'm gonna add that in my onions. Now, the greens are ready. I'm gonna do most of this off camera, but I'm just gonna show you what I do with my greens. I take the stems, and my mom, what she does, she'll take the stems out like this, or something similar to it, and she'll hold them back. And what she'll do, she'll chop them up real fine. She'll chop them up like this real fine, and she'll put them in it with the greens. And this basically gives it texture. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna show you this one more time. Get a nice leaf here. Yeah, this is good. You go down in the center of the thickest part of the stem. Will actually be the smallest part of the stem. Cut that out, you put that to the side, and you lay these down flat. And I'm gonna do some more, so I'm gonna show you how I roll them and how I cut them. Take that stem out like such. And this is very tedious, folks. It takes time. If you want to do it right, it takes a lot of time. I'm going to just put these in this bowl right here. And you stack it up like that. Get a couple more. Turn your green around. I need some good looking greens too. Got these at my local supermarket. Cut that stem out, lay it down like that. I don't like the way that looks, so that's going to be discarded. Stem out. And I'm probably going to keep maybe about 10 to 12 stems and cut them up real fine like this. And cook them along with the greens. And like I said, it gives it a good texture for your greens. I'm gonna do 2 more, and then the rest I'm gonna do off camera. It's a nice one right here. Yeah, Val is not here with me today. I miss her so much. She's out of town visiting her daughter and her son and her 2 grandchildren. But, you know, of course, we keep in constant contact with each other, and we do owe each other and so forth. So After you do that, you lay your greens flat just like this, right on top of each other, and you roll them real tight. Real tight. And what you do with a sharp knife, you cut them real thin. I know some people tear their greens, but I cut mine real thin because that's the way my mom and dad showed me how to do them. And to me, I think it's better. They come out more tender like this. Not saying that, you know, cut up greens are not pulled or chopped or whatever you want to call it, the big, you know, sections of greens that you mostly see in restaurants, stuff like that. I prefer this way. So does my kids and Val. She loves them like this. And other friends of mine too. They when I cooked these greens for the first time for a function at work, a lot of people was like, wow, I've never seen greens cut so thin like that before. And that's when I got started being called the green man. But this is how it looks. It's kind of like spaghetti, nice and fine, and they're gonna be delicious. We'll see you later, folks. Okay, our beautiful ham hocks has come off the A-smoke. And as you can see, I told you earlier that I was gonna take that paring knife and score that fat on that skin. Get that flavor out and get the flavor in. So I'm gonna place them in this pot right here. Hopefully they all fit. There we go. And the juice that was left over, I'm gonna pour that right into the pot here. It won't waste nothing. That's flavor right there. Flavor time. It smells great. Okay, for the seasonings, I'm gonna do a little garlic powder. It's about a couple of teaspoons. Onion powder. Good old essentials. 2 bay leaves. I'm also going to add a tablespoon of chicken flavored bouillon, powdered form. Nice heaping teaspoon of that. Spread that all around. A half a pack of GOYA ham flavored seasoning. And a couple of capfuls of white vinegar. Got some leftover green onions here that I'm going to throw in there just to amp up the flavor a little bit. I'm going to turn this fire down to medium low. Just come over here with me, folks. Look at them greens. That's what I'm talking about. That's how your greens should look after they're cut up. I'm going to fill this up with some water. That's one reason why I usually don't cook with water. I usually cook with chicken stock, but that's why I put that powdered chicken flavored bouillon in there. It'll make a nice chicken stock. So we're going to add water to this. Oops, getting all over the stove. It's okay. That was about 2 cups of water. I'm gonna add another cup. You don't necessarily have to put the water over the ham hocks because they're gonna steam. If I could just remember where I put my cover at. Oh, okay, it's right there. Hold on, guys. Just cover it and let it cook. This is gonna take probably about an hour and a half to really get tender, falling off the bone. And what I'm gonna do, once they're ready and once they cool down, I'm gonna take them out and I'm gonna shred the meat, and the meat's gonna go inside the greens. I wanted to point out something very important. When you're boiling your ham hocks, you're gonna lose water. There's no problem with that. You can replenish the water by adding new water in there. But as they start to get done and you see that they're falling off the bone, don't add any more water. Just turn it down real low. Let that water boil out, and all that flavors that's left is going to be concentrated. It's going to be like a thick kind of liquid. And that's the liquid that you're going to put into your pot with your greens in it. And that's the only liquid that I add. I don't add any other water. Only thing that's in there is the fat from the bacon and what's left over from these boiled ham hocks. So that's very important. And also the candy yams, they are doing terrific. They smell great. I tasted a little bit of the juice, and they're divine. They taste just like my dad's. So just remember that about the ham hocks. Let that water reduce once they get nice and tender and fall off the bone and ready to be cut up to put in the greens. Okay, everyone, we're back. We're cooking with E and V. Right now I got my pot for the greens getting heated up. The bacon is rendering good, that fat in there. And I also put in a little bit of olive oil in there. And right here we got our ham hocks. They get nice and tender. By the time the greens are just about ready, they'll be ready to be chopped up. Here we have our candy yams. They get it nice and soft and tender. And right now what I'm gonna do is start to put these greens in the pot. One thing you want to make sure when you're cooking greens, the pot has to be nice and hot. You want to get that that sizzle in there. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. You hear that? That's what you want to hear. So what I do, I put half the greens in, as so. I'll take these beautiful onions. I put half of them in there. And I'll let those greens cook now. Get nice and soft, and I'll go ahead and start stirring them. They're gonna be delicious. Okay, so the half of the greens that I put in are starting to sweat right now. The heat is still on high, so what I want to do now is stir it a little bit. I know that steam is clouding up the camera, but that's cooking. We're real cooking here. Cooking with E and V. So now what I'm going to do is add about a tablespoon of garlic. Some of this collard green seasoning. Not too much because we're going to be using a liquid from our ham hocks. And now we'll go ahead and add the rest of the collard greens in there. And as you can see, we got them stems in there also. Okay, we got a little bit left in here. We don't want to waste none of this goodness here. Along with that, we're going to add the rest of the onions. And another big, nice heaping teaspoon of garlic. Alright. Now we're going to add some onion powder. Some granulated garlic powder. And we're also going to add a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. Give it a mix. It's kind of hard doing this with the phone in one hand, but you get the idea. Oh, they smell delicious already. I wish we can't wait till they come out with some smell-o-vision. Now we're gonna take our top. Let it cook down. One thing I forgot to mention that was supposed to add, that was part of the ingredients in the beginning, is the SAZON packs and the GOYA ham flavored packs. I added that into the pot as well. Let me take you back over to the ham hocks. In the beginning, I had said that the ham hocks are going to cook down, the water is going to evaporate. Well, I just added some more water. Adding more water is not going to take away from the flavor, because when they cook down, that flavor is going to be concentrated. So don't worry about that. It smells delicious. Can't wait to eat them. If you're wondering why the silver foil is covering that hole on the top, that's a little cooking trick there. You want to keep all that moisture inside there. You don't want any water escaping, the natural water that comes out of the greens. So if you have a top that has a hole in it, I'll take this out so I can show y'all. Just take a little piece of foil like that. Stick it in that hole, like such, and cover it up. It'll help keep that steam in there. This is what our ham hocks look like after they've been fully cooked. When they cool down, I'm gonna chop all the meat up, including the skin, because I love the skin. It has a lot of flavor, and I'm gonna put them inside the collard greens. And I did make some white rice. What is collard greens, baby back ribs without white rice? So when we come back, folks, I'm going to show you the finished plate and the finished product, and we'll do a taste test. Oh my good Lord. This is it, folks. This is the final presentation of my collard greens. This is Greens 101, folks. Cooking with E&V. Here we have our baby back ribs, our delicious collard greens cooked to perfection, candy yams, my dad's recipe, Mr. Claude Jennings, and of course my mom, Mrs. Eunice Jennings, taught me how to cook these greens. And we have white rice. It's just a picture of beauty. This is Eric with Cooking with E&V. I thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our video. And send comments on this delicious meal. We'd love to hear them. Until the next video, take care, YouTube. We love y'all.